Imagine that you go to a restaurant and you put in your order and you say, I would like this. And then you say it and then the waiter says, okay, I'll be back. They leave, and then imagine the whole time you're worried about what's happening. You're asking other staff member if everything's going okay in the kitchen. You're asking your friends to do something about it. You're creating all this resistance. And all you really had to do was let go and trust the process. Now, it's a huge paradox, but when you let go, that's when you can have it all. And in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how to do that. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron, and I help people expand their consciousness. Now, in this video, I'm gonna be sharing with you how letting go allows you to then have it all. And this is a huge paradox, but I've looked at all the, if you were to take a timeline of my life out, from me working that 9-to-5 job that I wasn't passionate about, selling women's shoes. You've probably heard me talk about it in other videos before, but if you've seen or heard me talk about going from that to then going full-time on YouTube, to now going into a new arena, which is me doing live events. If you've seen any part of this journey, I was looking at it myself and seeing and noticing that when the great results came, it was when I really let go of the outcome, trying to control it. Now, in a way, willpower got me far, me choosing my actions, choosing what I'm doing. But in order for me to then get a jump from, let's say, here to here, it always required for me to let go of outcome, to let go of something. And that has been the key. I remember especially, there was a time maybe a year and a half ago where my intention was to really grow on YouTube. And the more I thought about it and I was thinking about it and I was making the daily videos, I've been making daily videos for 3 years in a row, and I was doing all of these different things, and I realized I was creating a lot of resistance. And one day it kind of hit me. I remembered that there was this talk I listened to, I think it was Bashar or something, and he had this talk where he was talking about, 15 minutes a day. Think about what you want, feel it as if you have it, and then let it go. Trust the universe to bring it to you. And in that moment, I also had a remembrance that when I was working that 9-to-5 job selling women's shoes, it was a commission-based job. And the days I did the best were the days I went in and I let go. I had a vision for an intention. I want to sell this much amount per day or whatever it was, but then I let it go and I focused on having fun and enjoying the process. Every single time I did that, I would have amazing results. So when it came to YouTube, wanting to grow on YouTube, what happened was, back in December 2018, I think, I was focused on it, but then what happened is I started to let go of it. I actually at that time was moving into a new relationship. And when it was like almost, I was creating so much resistance around creating and having my YouTube channel go to the next level, that what I ended up doing is I realized I was like holding it in place, like it wanted to take off, but I was trying to hold it in place. And because I was trying to hold it in place, it was then creating resistance. As I was moving into that new relationship, I realized that my attention was going away from that, and I would just start to allow it to be. In a way, I kind of put it on the back burner a little bit. I still wanted it, I still was intending for it, but when I did that, that's when everything got taken to the next level, because I let go of the outcome. I look at the energy dynamic there, and anytime I let go from trying really hard and in a way like holding the resistance in place, that's when then the results came. So it comes from letting go of the outcome and trusting the universe to do its job. And imagine it like this too. Let me switch the camera angle. And I did a diagram to make this a little bit easier to understand. I've showed this chart before, but I'll explain it in a different way. But understand that it's not our ego's job to do everything. There's a song by Mac Dre. It goes, that's not my job, okay? That's a very relevant song. I mean, the actual whole meaning of that song is completely not relevant, but that phrase right there is very relevant. That's not my job. Remember that. Anytime that your ego is trying to control things and you're trying to do things, your higher self, you could look at your higher self and go, wait, that's not my job, okay? That's not my job. Now, let me show you this chart right here. I just did this chart because I'm a really good drawer. Are you ready for this? Okay, this is our higher self, all angelic and stuff, giving you the message. This is also you, by the way. It says, trust. Just says it like that, trust. And then here's you. You're like, hey, I got this. this is like me, okay? Let's say it is me. Sometimes people are like, oh, it's me when you say it like that. You may sound like I'm talking about all of us. This is how we just are in general. So I'm like, hey, I got this, okay? I got this. I can control it. I know the best way up the mountain. The higher self, though, is sending us a frequency. That frequency is passion. That frequency is trust. And what happens is we're like, no, I got that. I can control it all. Here's the thing. There's a mountain lion right there, okay? And we can't necessarily see over the trees, whereas the higher self can tell us, hey, Aaron, go around the corner, and it looks longer, but I promise you it's safer, and you'll get up the mountain even faster. But you see, I can't hear that message if my ego is the only thing that I hear. So the key to this is understanding that the higher self can see better perception than our ego can. But when we think the ego must do everything, that's where we get into trouble. So the key to this is knowing that you can bypass the mountain line, trust the higher self, and trust and enjoy the process. What if I enjoyed, this is like the yellow brick road. It's actually supposed to be water, but the yellow brick road. But imagine I enjoyed this and it was fun and I was in the right state, and then going up this mountain would be even easier. So the point of this is understanding that it's not our ego's job to do everything. I see people that have the hardest time manifesting what they want are the people that are so attached to it having to be their way, to the blueprint that we have in our mind. And I say that from experience because that's how I was for a very long time. But I've learned now that what we can begin to do is know that when we let go, we are also saying, I trust the universe. I allow these things to happen. And let me show you what else makes the biggest difference. When we don't let go, we're also saying we don't trust that getting what we want is a natural reflection of us being the way we want. Okay, let me show you using a different camera angle. Here we go. Now, what I'm about to share with you is an absolute game changer when it comes to understanding how to let go to receive it all. And it has to do with understanding the levels of consciousness. Now, the levels of consciousness sounds very complex. And if you haven't seen my other videos on it, then it probably sounds like this, like, what is this? But understand that there's this level of consciousness, and it goes from 0 to 1,000, and lower vibrational emotions are at the bottom, like shame, fear, guilt, anger. And then 250 is neutrality. We have 400 is reasoning, 500 is love, and then joy, peace, and enlightenment going up. The higher you raise your vibration, the easier it is to manifest things. That's the key to this, and this is from a book, by the way, called Power versus Force. It talks about how we use muscle testing to calibrate different things calibrate at different energies. For example, there are movies that calibrate at like maybe 300, not the movie 300, but maybe like the movie Avatar, I think resonates right between 300 and 400. There's some movies and books, like the book The Power of Now resonates at about 500. The book Autobiography of a Yogi resonates at about 550 or 600, something like that. I forget the exact measurement. Like heavy metal rock music is very chaotic. It resonates at a lower frequency, maybe like 175. And these are all different calibrations. Now, our vibration, the higher we raise it, the more magical our life becomes, the easier things manifest. The key to getting up this scale is just letting go. That's it. Let go. The things that keep us in lower vibrations is we attach ourselves to things that happened in the past. We attach ourselves to lower vibrational things, maybe drinking alcohol, and because of that, it keeps us tethered to the lower vibes. But if we let go, we can then receive it all. So letting go is the key. Now here is something that's a little bit more advanced, but this is what makes all the difference when it comes to this. Now, 400 is the level of reasoning, science. Reasoning is the level of 400. Now, when you become aware that your beliefs create your reality and you start to change your beliefs, that's when your reality really begins to change, and that's a 400 to 500 level transformation. That's when it's a high vibration. Most people on the planet are under the 400s. I believe if you're watching this video, then you're of a higher vibration. How did that stand back up? I don't remember doing that. Okay, anyways. It's very windy here in Vegas, and there's a plant that was on the floor yesterday, and it's standing up now, and I'm kind of tripped out. I know I didn't put that up. But the reasoning, So right here, reasoning is we always do things for reasons as well. I'm going to think about this because then I can attract more of this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make daily videos so that my channel grows and then I feel more approval. You see, that's reasoning. Now, when you get to the 500, a big step is 500. What you do is you're focused on being. The middle levels are focused on doing. So you do things to get somewhere else. And then when you get to 500s, you're being. You're being for the sake of being. For example, I'm making daily videos because it's what I'm passionate about. It's who I am. When it's who I am, I'm not as attached to outcome. If I'm going to the gym every day because it's going to get me a better body, then that's the level of reasoning. Nothing wrong with it, but a higher paradigm is I'm going to the gym every day because it's who I am. You get in life not what you want, but a reflection of who you are being, of who you are. And when you get to the level of being, that's where magic happens. That's where you can let go of the outcome because it doesn't matter what reflection you get because you realize it's just who you are. You're not doing it for the reason of getting something else. You're doing it because it's who you are. That's when you're not attached to the outcome. So that's the key to really doing this, is realizing that your self-image goes with you. If you're doing something to change your self-image, then it's the reasoning. It can still be powerful, but do it because it's who you are. I simply saw myself as a full-time YouTuber, and then I did it because I was passionate about it. I then enjoyed the moment more. So I wasn't that like, oh, it needs to happen in 3 weeks. I was like, I'm loving this. I'm loving making these videos. I love that people are getting value from it. That was when I first started getting on YouTube back in February 2017. And then 6 months later, I quit my job. I became it. I was being that version of me. The key to letting go to having it all is being it because it's who you are. And then you can let go of the outcome because you trust that process. You trust it. Even if things didn't happen right away, I knew that it's just a matter of time, but I also knew this is just who I am. I make daily videos now. This is me. And if I look at anything else in my life that I've had to let go of, what I've realized, if it was a relationship that I wanted or something, what I would do is I'd focus on just being and doing what I love, trusting that that'll get brought to me when the time is right, but also enjoying the present moment. Many times it's hard to let go because we take things so seriously. We are holding things in place and we are trying to make it happen the way that we want. And we're creating that resistance when, if we were to just have more fun and loosen up, I notice that, sometimes if I'm getting serious about things and then I just go have fun, I just loosen up, I go to a cool restaurant or something like that, I'm then loose. I'm then enjoying the process. My energy then raises. You see, that's why with the whole Abraham Hicks thing, it's like, raise your vibration. Raise your vibration. And that's the thing too, you don't need the reason to get somewhere else to escape the moment. Do it because it's who you are. But you see, this is all about understanding where are you and what can you let go of. So the one thing I'd like you to do today that will change your life is decide on one thing you're gonna let go of. You could let go of something, maybe you're drinking a lot or smoking, or it's not serving you anymore. Maybe you're trying to control things in your life. Give it up and realize that your higher self, all angelic, is just saying one word, trust. Just got a halo like this. It's like, just trust it, okay? It's gonna happen. You just gotta let go. Just trust. And then our ego's in the valley. It's like, I got this. I've gotta figure it out. And then what happens is there's a mountain lion right there. But if we would just listen to the angelicness of our higher self going, Aaron, just trust. Go this way instead of that way. Then guess what? I would have gone around the river, and it's okay because the river ends right there. It just ends. There's the river does not keep going. So what I could have done is just walked around and then ascended up the mountain into the 5th dimension. It was that easy the whole time, but my ego was trying to control, telling the mountain lion to go away, just made the mountain lion even more angry. So I don't want to make mountain lions angry, okay? I want to let go to then let in. It's a huge paradox, but when you let go of outcome, things just happen. They just happen, but you gotta let go. Let go and listen to your higher self, all angelic, just saying, trust. Trust. It's all you gotta do is trust. And when you trust, you'll find that then things happen in a very easy way because you've let go of the resistance. And when you let go of the resistance, it naturally just raises up. Now, the key to this is letting go to then let in. And if you haven't seen yet, there's a meditation that I have that's on raising your dominant vibration permanently. We listened to it on January 1st. We did it live as a very powerful energy momentum when you listen to it. And it will help you to raise your vibration up that scale that we were talking about. So if you haven't listened to that yet, I recommend you listen to that for 21 days. Watch how it changes your life. Read the comments to see what's possible. I'll link it below. I'll also link it as an end card right here. Listen to it, watch what happens. And other than that, as always, peace, much love, and namaste.